So Slippery Starmer wanted today to mark his transformation into a global statesman, conquering Europe with tough talk about stopping the boats with a new EU-backed law enforcement approach. But that claim is nothing but a mirage. Political spin that only the biased establishment media would be stupid enough to accept without interrogation. Because while the British bashing corporation Woke ITV and Sly News might repeat that pitch, what the Labour Party has actually done is admit that in government we would be tied to the EU's ludicrous approach to migrants. So given our population and taking into account the 1 million illegal arrivals to Europe annually, we would have to accept over 120,000 migrants from the continent every single year. As a government source who crunched those numbers told the Daily Mail, finally we get to see Sir Keir Starmer's plan for illegal migration. He'll make it legal. That's the opposite of taking back control. It's throwing our doors open in perpetuity. The Prime Minister, who isn't stopping the boats either, by the way, was scathing in his response.
Well, Keir Starmer spent all of this year voting against our Stop the Boats bill, the toughest legislation that any government has passed to tackle illegal migration. I think he spent most of last year voting against a previous bill, which has since then led to almost 700 arrests related to organised immigration crime. So I don't think it's credible that he really wants to grip this problem, and his plans today seem to amount to saying that we might one day accept 100,000 EU migrants every year. That doesn't seem like a credible plan to me to stop the boats.
The Home Secretary, Suella Braverman, went further, writing that Starmer would make Britain the, quote, dumping ground for many of the millions of illegal migrants that Europe doesn't want, before adding, and none of this will stop the boats. Most of the MSM ignored this conundrum during interviews with Starmer today, but The Sun's Harry Cole did quiz him, and Jeremy Vine tried to get an answer from Angela Rayner. Their non-responses were telling.
Are you ruling out joining an EU-wide burden sharing scheme then today?
Well, look, I think there needs to be a returns agreement. That will have to be negotiated. In opposition, I'm not in a position to negotiate that.
If we were joining a burden sharing scheme, we'd represent about just over 1 in 10 of the EU population. So would you be willing to take that 13% number as our share of the EU asylum seekers?
This number is a nonsense number.
It's come from the EU Commission.
I know where it's come from.
It says that you're going to say to the EU, let's do this together, and the result will be we will take a certain proportion of the total number of migrants that come to the EU, and that'll mean we get more.
Well, it's not the case, no, because at the moment we've got people where illegal gangs are bringing people over, risking their lives, and you haven't got a cap on those numbers. We've got hundreds and thousands of people in hotels.
That'll carry on.
So it won't carry on.
Starmer's non-response led to this brilliant riposte from Penny Mordaunt in the House today, who compared him to the hapless Beach Ken from the Barbie movie.
Because I think the Labour leader is Beach Ken. Beach Ken stands for nothing, on shifting sands, in his flip-flops, staring out to sea, doing nothing constructive to stop small boats or grow the economy. And when we examine his weak record on union demands, on border control, on protecting the public and stopping small boats, we discover that, like Beach Ken, he has zero balls.
Penny's words, not mine, but that was quite a moment. What I do think Starmer has proven today is that illegal immigration, already a national emergency, will only get worse under a Labour government. By scrapping the Rwanda scheme, Starmer is waving goodbye to one of the only solutions to this growing crisis, which is a popular and proper deterrent scheme to stop the boats.